Hello, everybody. And tonight we are live with the wonderful saxophone player, Saxable. Yay!
Right?
I'm so happy to have you here. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
let
The sun is always shining, so I can't complain.
let me start off on how I got this young man to come on. I was on YouTube and I was looking up musicians. Okay. And I saw him and I started watching all his shorts and his videos. And I was like, I gotta have this guy on my show because I'm just totally blown away by your talent.
Thank you.
So to get it started, where do you live?
Well, right now I'm currently based in Miami, Florida, and I perform a lot of different places. But like I said, I'm based here in Miami.
Oh, based in Miami. Wow. So you're not from Miami?
I'm not from Miami. I was actually born in Flint, Michigan, but
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Detroit, Michigan.
And so what made you move to Miami?
Well, I actually moved from New York, from New York to Miami when around 2021. I started visiting Miami in 2020 because of COVID. Um, a lot of the shows were shut down in New York. Everything was shut down. So, you know, New York, they would have the venues say, okay, you can perform, and then the day before the performance, it will be canceled. And they say, oh no, you can't do it because of COVID. And then I just visited Florida and I saw like you know they they just they just kept the city open and just kept the businesses going. And a lot of people were coming to Miami, so I said, "This is a place where I want to be." I said, "Okay, this is a way better lifestyle here in Miami. Things are going good. This is I was never expecting to move to Miami. This is just something that life threw at me, and I said I'll take it.
Wow, that's incredible. So let's dive in with your saxophone playing. Did you go to school or were you self-taught?
I started off in school, like in Flint, Michigan, learning how to play an instrument, like learning classical type of music, and then like most, I started learning how to play music in church. And that's when I started getting my first experience playing with a band and getting my developing, being able to hear this music and play by ear. And then I went to Detroit where I learned from a lot of jazz masters named Wendell Harrison and James Carter and a lot of great jazz masters from Detroit. And I went on to New York and learned from more jazz masters like Barry Harris. Um, because and I just really, I was really just getting a lot of experience from the time I was about 13 years old, just from playing experience from being in school bands and playing with professional bands from the age of 13. With older
Wow.
musicians.
Wow, that is incredible. So when you said you played with professionals, were you actually out gigging with them in or going to events with them? How
I
did that come about?
I was actually in bars at like 1 o'clock in the morning at the age of 14.
Wow.
Playing with musicians, playing with musicians that were in their 40s and 50s. You know, so I have a big history of this music. Like I've been studying the music from the 1930s up to this point, and even before the 1930s with the classical music, but mainly just the African American music, the art form from the 30s and up.
So who is your favorite saxophone artist?
Well, my see, I started off like in really traditional jazz. That's mainly who I'm influenced by. Older guys like Charlie Parker, John.
Mhm.
Coltrane. These guys are from the 40s and 60s, and I started listening to these guys because that was like the highest level of music. But today's time, a lot of people not listening to that type of music, but that's the music that really resonated with me, and those are some players. But also, like I said, coming from Detroit, there's so many influential people that's from Detroit that I had to that I could pay attention to that really influenced me at a young age.
That is incredible. That's really surprising that somebody that young would listen to, you said Charlie Parker, right? That's
Yeah,
just that just shows maturity, at a young age to listen to Charlie Parker,
yeah.
because his Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but when I was like 13 and 14 and like in the ninth grade, I'll be waking up at like 7 a.m. like trying to learn how to play like Charlie Parker, like 7 a.m. practicing his stuff like every day at the age of 13 and 14, just every day. So it's been, I'm still young, but it's been some, over 10 years of practice and work.
Mhm. So, what do you do, as a career? Do you is this your main source of income right now? I mean, are you out there just really doing your music?
Yeah, see, I'm very fortunate because music is like my only stream of income. That's all I do. That's all I do. Like I do private events, and then I also street perform. And this is all I do. And like during COVID, I developed like my own personal method of how I go about street performing, which is a lot different from people that did it in the past, where they see most musicians just standing in one place with a tip bucket. My approach is a lot different. I'm doing a lot more interacting with people and building up the social media a lot more. And I'm not working for long periods of time. So I'm getting ready to right now. One of the things I'm working on, I'm getting ready to create an online course to teach musicians how I go about street performing. So like I can say this is something that like I have really developed, and I have taught a couple of people like my methods. But this is something that I'm really excited about is giving back to people and showing them like this how I go about street performing. See, because me, I went from living in a bedroom, small bedroom, to living in a 2 bedroom condo,
Mhm.
street performing. And like I said, I was going to college for music, but I didn't finish because of money. And now I figured a good method to produce money from my music and to live on it until I get to the next level where I'm trying to go. So that's where I'm at right now.
Okay, can people find you on Spotify or Apple Music? Are you on those, platforms?
Yes. So under my government name is Benny Rubin Jr. I have two traditional jazz albums where it's like influenced by Charlie Parker and John Coltrane. Those two albums, but that Saxable thing that I created when I was like 13, and that's more like I'm doing more like hip hop, R&B, commercial type of stuff. And I'm about to create a whole catalog of music that I'm using under this name, Saxable. So you can look me up on all these platforms, Apple Music and Spotify under the name Saxable. And also you can look me up under Benny Rubin Jr.
Benny Ruben, Ruben Junior,
Rubin.
Rubin. Okay.
And Benny
Ruben Junior.
is Benny.
Okay. Ruben Junior. Okay, I typed it in the, chat. Okay. Um, What else was I going to ask you? Do you teach in the school system, or do you perform for kids in the school system?
I have taught a little bit. I have taught a little bit. Um, and me teaching is a real personal thing because like I saw how my mentors had an impact on my life. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not teaching in the classroom setting with 30 people. I like to do more of a one-on-one or
Mm-hmm.
like setting because I think that's when you get the you can really have an impact on somebody's life because then they can see what type of person I am as a musician and just as a person. Because these are all part of the things of what makes the music, not just the actual music, but the personality of the person
Right.
and their daily routine. So like yeah, I teach people. I don't have any current any students right now,
Mm-hmm.
but people reach out to me for advice, and I help them out with learning how to play saxophone and just learning how to make a great solo.
So besides jazz, you say you listen to hip hop. Is that you say? Do you
Yeah,
listen to R&B and hip hop?
yeah, I've been mainly hip hop. I've been playing these days mainly just hip hop because see what now I'm doing like is trying to branch out to more to a larger audience because jazz is very limited audience, and I want to be able to bring more people in with this music, be able to touch people and let them feel. Because I mean, me, what I'm personally playing on the saxophone is not so much changing. It's just the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
rhythm of the music, the feel of the music has changed.
Wow, that's incredible. Does anybody else in your family play instruments?
Um, yeah, not really. Most of my family are athletes,
Oh
so
wow. Yeah, you didn't did you ever want to be an athlete?
I was playing football and basketball. I wasn't too good at basketball, but I was really good at football. But then at a young age, I was like, yeah, I just want to do music.
Wow.
And
And
then
go
yeah,
ahead.
I saw that I wasn't growing 6'6", 6'7" like everybody. I was like, yeah, I need to switch this up. 200-300 pounds.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I'm like, okay, I need to stick with this horn.
I get it. So
I was
was your family supportive of your music?
yeah, my family was always really supportive of my music. You know, you know, just helping me come up with the money for my instruments and my lessons. Because music is a very, to play music is, you know, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. It's a rare thing now because like in Detroit, they stopped at one point. They stopped the elementary kids from having instruments, because they ran out of funding.
Wow.
And now, now a lot of the kids are learning instruments in high school versus learning instruments in elementary, which that really dropped the level of musicianship. Because, like I said, at 13, 14, I was already working on Charlie Parker,
Mhm.
So, but that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of the cities and states, they don't think about this because they already have a lot of money where they can fund the music department. But, like, to come from, like, Flint, Michigan, that's a city that doesn't really have a lot of money, a lot of opportunity,
Mhm.
and just so like the school I went to is closed now, but
Wow.
they just so happen to have like a music program, and when I say music program, I mean like 5, 6 people in the music program.
Wow.
You know,
Wow. So, do you want to play something for us?
okay, yeah. So I'm gonna play something on my tenor saxophone, which this horn is from. Japan. I didn't go to Japan to get it, but it was made in Japan. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna improvise.
That's cool.
You know.
Wow.
I'll never play that again. But there it is, a little something.
Wow. And so that must take a lot of breath control.
Well, yeah, it takes a lot of breath support. You learn how to support yourself over the time.
So you breathe for what's it called, your diaphragm,
Yeah,
right?
you really breathe from your diaphragm and try to support your air and stuff like that.
Wow. That is, you are
And
incredible.
and that, like I said, that was all improvised. So like I'll never play that again. That was just in this moment.
You just won't remember how to play that.
Yeah,
It's like Bruce Lee, because he would do a lot of, when he would fight, when they would try to, when he was making a movie, they could only get one shot because he was improvising. And so they couldn't replicate what he did because he didn't remember.
yeah.
So what inspires you to create music? Where does that come from?
What inspires me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't. To be honest, what inspires me is just like, well, like I said, coming from Flint, Michigan, I didn't have. It wasn't too much going on in the city besides a lot of violence and a lot of negative things. But there were positive things, but mainly things you hear about was negative things. Like violence and gun shootings and stuff. But me, when all that stuff was going on, I was working on music.
Mm-hmm.
So like, even though all these like crazy things that was going on, like I was in the middle of a war zone, I'm in the room practicing
Wow.
business, and that's what inspired me. Like when I first started, I want to like do something better with my life. Go to like now I'm in Miami, but can you imagine looking out the window and you see a street full of abandoned houses, you know,
Mm,
trash on the floor, and just what inspired me was really just I think it was more like a relief thing, like from reality
mm-hmm.
for me. Just like I'm entering this new world when I'm playing this music, and it would just give me so much joy from what was going on in my, you know, at that time.
Wow. Wow. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. And I
Okay,
really appreciate you coming on. Uh, because of the hour of the day, there's not too many people because it's 6 o'clock where I am, and I
okay,
usually don't start till like 7, or a little bit after 7. So, oh, here we go. Oh, here comes somebody on. Aged Sonic. I would like to ask if you've seen the movie Soul and the soundtrack.
No, I haven't seen that movie. Me personally, I try not to watch too much TV.
Mm,
I I don't when I use social media, even social media. One day I was just like, why am I watching so much TV? Why am I watching so much content? I only either post on social media or I just observe what somebody else is doing, or I
mm,
watch educational stuff on how to like do better at social media. That's probably how you find my account. Like I said, last year I only had 200 subscribers.
mm-hmm.
And, I'm really trying to grow this thing, so I'm mainly watching educational stuff. You know, versus just watching movies. But I do love movies, though.
Mm-hmm. So agent, okay, I would say that being a jazz musician myself, yeah, he does play jazz. Agent Sonic, he does play jazz. Being a jazz musician myself, it's pretty solid. And hearing you play the sax would have the have the great tonality. Oh, okay. He said you have great tonality. I don't know what that means. Want to explain that to me?
Well, tonality, yeah, he's just talking about like my sound,
Mm.
like the way my saxophone sounds. The you know, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
I guess.
Like, right, it's like if somebody sounds if somebody has a bad voice, you wouldn't want to listen to them
Mm-hmm.
because their tone is bad.
Oh, okay.
The tone is the quality of sound.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
Mm.
I spent a lot of years. I spent a lot of years working on my sound to get it to the point like it is. So thank you so much for that comment. You know.
Yeah, yeah, there's somebody, Agent Zero Zero Sonic. You should check him out on YouTube, and he's on IG too. Uh,
Okay.
I've been knowing him since he was little, and this dude, he does a lot of stuff. He plays instruments, he does photography, he does anime art. I can't even name everything that he does, but he's somebody. I don't know. Maybe if I don't know, y'all get to know each other. Maybe I'll come up with something. That I'm about connecting people too. I'm about showcasing people and connecting people. And brother, when I say I was blown away by you, I just watch your stuff. I sit there and watch your stuff. I'm just totally blown away by your talent. You're just so. Ooh, I'm getting it. Hold on. Oof.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Oof.
you okay?
Whew, I'm sorry. I get like that. I get like that because I know your roommate in the background.
Oh,
He just walked by.
yeah.
But your but your talent, you don't see that anymore. People don't play instruments anymore. They
Right.
don't. They rely on electronics. They rely on tracks that are already made. They you do you understand how phenomenal it is to see a young person? 'Cause back in my day, people play instruments, okay? Earth, wind, and fire. You know, they play instruments. This I can't count on my hand how many people play instruments now. So when I see somebody
But
like you, it
that was,
just
that was part of the thing when I was talking about funding. You know,
mm-hmm,
like I said they can't. It's not their fault they don't play the instrument because maybe it's not offered in school.
mm,
Because when the city when things get financially tight, the first thing they think to cut is the arts. But that's actually should be the last thing to cut because the arts is what gives people intellectual intelligence.
mm-hmm. Right, right. I hear you. But that's why I just got like that. I just got all caught up in my feelings, as you young people say. I got caught up in my feelings because I just love to see I love to see young people, particularly young Black people, doing well because you don't see that on the news. They don't really talk about it. When you see somebody got shot or whatever, but you don't see the positivity being presented. And so that's why I get all caught up in my feelings because I see you. I see you. And man, I'm gonna do whatever. I don't have that many followers, but the followers that I have, I'm gonna keep putting your stuff on my community tab. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to do that. And I appreciate you so much coming on my program, man. I love your music and I want to encourage you to just keep going and doing what you do because it's important. And I appreciate you. That's
Thank
all I got to say.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me on your show. And I'm sure like people are going to go back and view this video, this live stream. So
I hope so because I usually don't start till later, but we're on different time.
yeah,
You're on Eastern time. I'm on Central. I'm an hour behind. But anyways, thank you so much. And God bless you. And so we're gonna be out. Stay on. I'm gonna end the broadcast. You stay on. So people that saw this, please share this out. Share this out with others. And you guys have a great evening or night, morning, wherever you are. Peace, love, and hair grease. Bye.
bye.